Hey everybody, it's Six Packs again. Just a quick little instructional video here. Here's the GPS. This isn't particularly on the GPS, but for connectors in general. This two wire connector is actually for the compass, onboard compass. We won't be using that, but this connector has 4 wires in it. It has the positive, negative, RX and TX, the GPS on it. I'm not even sure what kind of connector this is called, but needless to say, this is not going to fit on the pins here on the Naze 32 board. And I just wanted to show you a nice, quick, easy way to do a nice connector for it from anything you may have on hand. This is just a general servo cable, a 3-wire servo cable. Same thing as with the ESC headers and the servo cable, same for the receiver that we have on there. And basically what you do, you want to use these, but you can't do it because you need to have single pins. You can't just use a bunch of 3 in a row connectors. So what you do is you take a razor blade or a really thin screwdriver, and you get underneath of this little tab right here, and then you just pull out the wire, and you do it for each of them. Some are a little bit pickier than others. If you push up on it, sometimes it helps you get underneath that little plastic tab better. There we go. And last but not least, the black ground. And there we go. You can either keep that or toss it out. Anyway, just in case, I just pull them apart too. So you may or may not need this end. More than likely, what I will be doing will be cutting this right there, as well as cutting these wires, and I will solder and shrink tube them on. However, you want the connectors on one side. I'm going to use these, but I already have one that's been pulled apart. Here we go. That's just the wire that's in there with that connector, and that fits perfectly onto these pins. That's what it's made for. But you don't want to have a chance of it bending and shorting out and everything. So the nice ingenious way to do that is to then take some 2mm shrink tubing. Got it from Hobby King. It took a while to get here because it was from China warehouse, but for probably 50 cents I got 1 meter of it. So you cut a good amount of it off. And you slide it on there. And you want it about lined up with that. Then you grab hair dryer, heat gun, whatever kind of heat source you can get. I'm going to go ahead and try my little butane lighter and see how that works instead of my hair dryer. I'm just curious to see how it works. And wow, look at that. Worked out pretty dang good. Let it cool down a little bit, but now you have a perfect shrink wrapped connector that you can now put anywhere on any single pin on the flight controller board with no risk of shorting anything out. So you'll be good to go. Hope that helps anybody. And like I said, I will be using that for the GPS.